That's the point, isn't it? About a minute from the end of the interview, it's another small step on their way.
Yeah, a small step. And tonight, they can do that all night. Arsenal sit back and defend and stop teams scoring all night long, all night. And tonight, they've done that very comfortably. And I think Arteta hit the nail on the head. They deserve to win it over two legs. They deserve to win it over two legs. And you've got to give credit where credit's due. They've played against a good Chelsea team who never looked like scoring in a month of Sundays tonight. In a month of Sundays. And then you have to show respect to Arsenal. That's, as a defensive unit, as a midfield, from the front, and Gyökeres didn't play well, but from him running around, working hard, all the way through from midfield to defence, it's been absolutely outstanding all season. I mean, the result against Leeds and then this tonight, thoroughly deserve it.
They did defend well.
They did defend well, and they are ready to win. But make no mistake, they've had to suffer this last few years. They've become so close, but I look at the squad and the depth and the way they're playing, they're by far the best team. And I actually think they've been not at their best of late, but I think now this result, I think, will actually relax them. And they might be able to start enjoying it a little bit more, play with a bit more flair. Because at times I'm seeing them being a little bit tight. Zubimendi and Declan Rice maybe not getting it on the half-turn enough. They're probably a little bit safe. I think now they can almost start to relax and play, and then we'll see an even better Arsenal side. But the Arsenal side we saw at the start of the season, because they are still a little bit uptight. But to get to a cup final, to be 6 points clear, to be the top team in the Champions League, is absolutely incredible effort. And there's no reason why they can't win 2, maybe 3 trophies this year. Well, they're certainly capable.
Because it's also a stat that we've mentioned before, that 7 of the last 12 winners of this have then gone on to win another trophy in the same season. That shows, as we say many times, what this can do.
Absolutely. And you look at the side that they're going to be, if it goes to form, and we think that Man City obviously probably should win tomorrow with the the aggregate score so far, that would be an amazing final as well. It will be, and I think that's one of those where you can almost lay down a marker, because if Arsenal were to win that then as well, and then they go on and win the league, it would be an incredible season. But they've been set up to win for the last few years. The job the manager's done, and he takes a lot of criticism, and people are very quick to jump on the team and talk about how many set pieces they score from. Are they good enough offensively? They're a winning machine right now. And it's not always sometimes pretty. Paul mentioned it when they won the league in, was it 89, Paul? You weren't maybe the most beautiful side to watch, but there's no pictures on the scorecard. Nobody cares at the end of the year. It's just about getting that trophy as quick as you can in your hands.
He's tried to explain it there, which is great, and we thank him for that. But you're puzzled.
Yeah, I am. He was just saying about Reece James and Neto. They're good players, very good players, 2 of their better players. But Saka and Odegaard never played neither. Do you know what I mean? So it's not... you know what? I look back now. You know what would have been a big difference as well? Just as he was making the substitutions, I'd be interested to see if Liam was bringing off the lap. Because he just gets booked as they were making the substitutions. And I'm not sure. I think when it gets down to the last 10 minutes, you need a Delap in the middle, who's going to get his head on something. But... They'll be forever thinking about that in their footballing careers.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because if you look at it, I'm guessing from a player's point of view, stay in it, keep it tight, and try and nick something late on. Yeah, then they did a lot of that. But if you're a fan and you're a goal down in a semi-final, you're probably thinking, come on, lads, give it a go with half an hour to go.
It's not as simple as just booting the ball in the box, working off second balls, but you have to feel like you've got that understanding of what you're doing, And it was very difficult with Esteval as well. He's obviously had to go back to Brazil for family reasons, so normally you probably started him, because in the first leg he gave Timber a real chasing, which happens it doesn't happen at all. So that made a big difference to the team. Cole Palmer, I don't know what his injury situation was. Did he feel he could play 90 minutes? I'm not so sure. But it was definitely, that was his plan, to keep it as tight as possible. I saw his assistant coach, Liam, at half-time. He was, delighted, clapping. He was thinking, right, this is exactly what we wanted to do. Let's take them deep into the second half. Let's work on the anxiety in the stadium. But it just didn't happen. And even the way they managed it at the end, by just trying to be a bit aggressive, getting the ball into the box, they sort of lost that pattern of play. They didn't really find a way to get the urgency or the quality. The quality they showed the weekend against West Ham, when it was tight, and they're 2-2, and they managed to squeeze a goal out at the end with pure quality. They didn't have that once today.
That was wave after wave, though.
Yeah, it was, and it was a chaotic energy. There wasn't that today. And I think, Trevor was trying to explain it to us there, and like you rightly said, he said it in a understanding way that this is the tactic we wanted to do. But I feel that in semi-finals, it's just a completely different thing altogether. You've got to throw caution to the wind. You've got to get the ball into the box. You've got to make yourself... You've got to be thinking no regrets after this game. And I think that's what, as Paul rightly says, there'll be a lot of regrets in that dressing, thinking we didn't do enough.
You look back now and I just think... Yuka is up front who's struggling. You just play the two centre-halves. The two full-backs are very good in Gusto and Cucurella. They can look after the two wingers. They're good defenders, 1v1. That four then gives you an extra forward to get on the pitch. You know, it gives you another forward. And they didn't. They chose to be with another defender. And I don't think they needed to. That four would have been good enough to look after...
Well, and then goes Santos, Caicedo, and then Enzo.
Yeah, you know. And if you want to play Steve-O as your right-hand side for 45 minutes and play Palmer the other 45 minutes, but you're getting a player on. They just wasted time. It's, you know, I wouldn't mind if it was Ireland up front. It's Gyökeres, and that's no disrespect to him. But if you've got two centre-halves who can't look after him, then you're starting to worry. You mean
Esteval, don't you?
Yeah, Steve-O. Yeah, Steve-O.
Steve-O to you.
We call him Steve-O.
Do we?
We call him Steve-O, yeah. We call him Steve-O.
I was trying to help you, but I think
Steve-O?
I didn't know he was Brazilian.
Chelsea fans will know.
But no, but anyway, but I also think that the fact that when you've got the two on, then you haven't got an option to bring someone else, another striker on, Merson, have you? I know you said he could take that, but you should be able to trust a striker if he's been booked for... Come on, give me 20 minutes without getting a booking.
20 minutes without being...
Yeah.
But yeah, I just can't believe what I watched.
Well,
I just can't believe it.
I think Arsenal's Wembley.
Well, joy, I think happiness, I think all the work that everybody at the club does to take the club, the team, the individuals to the highest level and start to compete for major trophies. At the end, when you have the opportunity to see yourself in Wembley, it gives the right reasons to everything that we do. I would say that. So everybody's obviously so happy, and together we're going to try to win it.
How much of a release was it right at the end there when obviously Declan puts the ball across and Kai goes through and it happens?
By far the best moment of the day. When I saw Declan playing that ball and Kai going through it, we were scored now. It was perfect. The reaction of the finishers on the bench, the staff, the crowd, it was a great moment.
Was it a night for a strong mind, particularly the type of game that I think they made it into?
Well, I think we both made it. Both very, very competitive. There is a lot of quality there. Both teams adjust to things very, very quickly. It was a real battle because both teams are really competitive, really aggressive. The weather and conditions as well made it even tougher, and as well the margins were close, and both teams had the ability in any moment to score a goal, and I think we defended so well, and we took one of the 3 or 4 chances that we had.
Was it a night as well where you kind of, I don't know if this is the right word, but you have to be quite professional, because it was almost like with their game plan, they're asking you to take risks you don't need to take because you're the team winning?
Well, we prepared the game to win it. We need to understand as well the way they set up as well, and they are really brave and they have the right players. They can win a lot of duels, especially inside, and you have to be very conscious and careful of that. But I think we read the game well. We had very good moments, some others that we were a little bit more deep, but I think the team defended so well as well.
Yeah. Did you expect them to go for it earlier, maybe, Chelsea?
No, well, I think with the lineup as well, I think they tried something else, but we were prepared for that, and we knew that we were going to have to play a lot of mini games within the game, and they could change the half-time immediately, like they did 2-3 days ago, at 60, at 17, at 80, and we had to plan for that, and we were ready, and I think we competed so well, and I think over the 2 legs, I think we deserved to be through.
Was the key mini game that last 30 minutes?
Yes, and the last 10, but when the tide is so close like this, anything can happen. So you need to adjust that, and sometimes it's more about the heart and the mentality than the tactical stuff, for sure.
And a word for your supporters tonight, because
brilliant.
It could have got nervy and it didn't.
No, but the nervousness, or that's the willingness to win, you know, that you want to go over that hurdle. But they were enormous today, the energy, because it wasn't easy. It was really cold, really windy and wet, and they were with the team in every aspect of the game, and emotionally helped us so much. So thank you so much. Now let's enjoy Wembley.
And another little hurdle cleared by this team, winning a semi-final this time. Just another little step.
It is, and that's what we want, but we're showing a lot of maturity and consistency, and yeah, in a few weeks we're going to be all together in Wembley.
And if you were able to win it, and I know it's kind of a big if at this point, do you think it could be like a gateway trophy for this team, without going through too many, but a lot of big teams, the League Cup's been their first cup.
I don't know. Now, what we're going to do that is just focus on the Premier League, because Saturday we're going to have another big one, and when the time comes and the moment comes, we'll prepare the best way to go and win it.
Well done, McCann.
Thank you so much. Take care.
A little bit Monday, then you might be able to do a little bit of tactical work. To get what you want in a couple of days is never that easy as well. So for the players to understand and for them to set out a game plan, there has to come a part of it where you have to take it into your own hands as well as players. And I felt today that to start the way they did, and I almost reserved my judgment at half-time because I didn't want to get it, you know, like if they end up winning, this is a masterclass.
Yeah, 100%.
Paul was a lot more, he sensed it a lot earlier than I did today. But I just felt we have to be very careful as well. I mean, if that's the product that we're going to produce and we're going to sit back for half a game, this isn't basketball football. And then people might as well stay at home for the first half and wait for the second half. There might be a bit of excitement. We don't need that. We don't need to go down that route at all. And I felt today that was how it felt a little bit. Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to sit back and we're going to feel it out, and we're going to maybe put a few jabs out there if we can. But this is a semi-final of a cup. You've got to go for it.
Having said that, in your eras, there would have been times in games where people set up defensively to try and nick something.
Yeah, not when you're 1-0. Well, not when you're 1-0 down.
Not when you're losing.
You're losing the game. That's the bit we're both struggling with.
Liam's talking about there. He said we kept Arsenal quiet. Arsenal didn't have to do anything.
No.
They didn't have to chase the game. If Arsenal had to chase that game, and even if Arsenal lost one goal, they're still going to extra time, worst way out. But if they went 1-0 down or 2-1 down, no, 2-0 down, with 15 minutes to go, they would at least have had 4 shots before the end of the game. They would have stepped it up and they'd have gone again, Arsenal, and they would have pushed forward, took a chance. They didn't have to take a chance. I'd love to talk to the Arsenal players and go, are you shocked what happened tonight? You know, did you think Chelsea were going to come and have a right go? And Liam's talking there like he come into Chelsea like they were 5th bottom of the league. They weren't 5th bottom of the league. They were still flying along. Do you know what I mean? He's saying the improvement. You know, Chelsea would have had a go today. Chelsea fans won't be happy with that. I'm sorry.
One more thing before we'll switch our attention to Arsenal when we come back after the break. You did the Chelsea game at home to West Ham on Saturday, and then you were at Spurs on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Some of the most exhilarating football of the weekend came from both Chelsea and Spurs when they were 2-0 down.
Yeah.
And Liam himself said it in that interview. We could have gone man for man and pressed them high up, and we could have been 2-0 up.
Yeah, I'd rather have
right?
that.
But
yeah,
we could have been 2-0 down.
I think that
now,
would have
surely
made sense.
when you're 2-0 down and you're pressing and going for it, you could go 4-0 down.
Yeah.
Or you could be back to 2-2. From a fan's point of view, does it feel like we're in an era where you have to be on the back foot to give it a go at the moment, to take risks?
Yeah, I totally get that point, because the weekend was exactly that, Mark. You know, we saw it where I think there was also a case of poor individual performances in that first half from players. You know, Garnacho, Badiashile and Hato actually did all right tonight. They really struggled, so he just had to change it, and then all of a sudden you got your home crowd, and that was the difference. The 2 teams that came back had the crowd of them second half. But sometimes in football you just have to take caution to the wind and just go for it. You know, make things happen. You know, get people in the box. You know, even he said Cole Palmer was good. I mean, Cole Palmer, he was so deep and he was playing a couple of neat passes, but I never felt like the threatening Cole Palmer, like it was 10 yards further up the pitch. He played in your position, Paul. Did you ever feel that Cole Palmer was going to make or score a goal tonight?
No, not at all. I didn't. Not at all. I didn't see that at all. And I know, as Liam said, if we'd have gone man to man, we could have been 2-0 up or 2-0 down. But he goes to bed tonight thinking we had a go. You know,
what would Chelsea fans prefer? They'd prefer that, wouldn't they?
You've got to have a go. They'd be Chelsea. They'd be fuming. You know, be sitting there thinking, just come to Arsenal and literally just went out on a whim. And I'd love to see what the Arsenal players think. I'd like to think, are you shocked? As I say, as a manager, you want to go bed. And if they'd have gone man-to-man all over the pitch and gone, right, we just got beat. We just got beat by a much better team on the day, and they just cope better, fair play, hold my hands up. But I just don't see what... And the worst thing ever for him tonight, for Liam, is the late goal. That's the one that's destroyed him. Because if it's 0-0, at least he might come away and go, you know, but still... Semi-final.
Because there's no doubt at all he's a tremendous understanding of the game. Yeah. Tactically, he's done really well. He's making subs that are coming on, scoring goals. But it just felt like today it was one of those where sometimes you've got to almost just forget, because tactics now are playing such a big part in the game, and we're controlling this part of the game for 30 minutes, different phases. It wasn't a game for that. Emotion sometimes in semi-finals is what you need.
And we're also